Hi, welcome to BATTER-UP Gaming. This is round 4 of our local tournaments. Here we have on our left is Sam, the mono red pan player who was featured round 1. And on the right we have Stephen Hong, who was our hand control Shenron player from round 2. Unfortunately, round 3 wasn't recorded due to an error with the camera. I apologize for that in advance. For the future, I'll make sure the recording for all rounds are as clean as possible and no mistakes are made. But let's get right into this match. I believe Steven's taking on dice to see who goes first here. Both players are already set up with their lives. Alright, so Sam, let's see, he rolls. I can't really tell what that is, but I think he rolled a 5. And, okay. So Sam does go here first, and he charges the after image. Taps 1, plays the M2. Really, I feel like that's a really strong turn 1 play for Pan, knowing Shenron can't really pressure on any damage, and that M2 is really gonna stick when it comes to lowering the Dragon Ball's power. So Steve has a pretty decent hand. Well, I thought it looked pretty decent, but he ends up charging a world piece first. And that's, once again, I feel like that's not really an optimal charge when it comes to this deck. Pan being a really strong leader with the current edition of your pal Yamcha, who's a 2-drop, I believe 15k power, such a strong card. With the Pan auto, once you play it, it gets boosted by 5, and then you get to tutor out the top 3 and add Earthling to your hand. And Pan nowadays, they just run a bunch of Earthlings, chain attack Trunks, and etc. So Steve here played 3 Dragon Balls, then he activates the 1-star ball, pitching the out-cost Vegetas. Sam pitches the double shot Vegeta, I believe it's called, and Steve seems to pass turn after that. Speaking of your the Yamcha card, he ends up charging it to play the Trunks. Trunks is now 10k. He swings at leader. No negates from Steven. He auto. So right there, he uses the M2, minusing the leader. That's 20k to a 5k. And Steve's just going to have to take that sending Yajirobe from his life to the grave. And now the leader attacks. That's 10k. And he can't use M2 again since it's already tapped. So Steve just needs to out combo, and he pitches the 4-drop Super 17. Sam passes turn here, and let's see what Steven decides to charge here. And he goes ahead and he charges the Senzu Bean. So Steven here has 1, 2, 3, 4 Dragon Balls in the grave, and that would be another. He'll be up to 6 after this, so he's quite not there yet unless he ends up drawing another ball out of from his deck. And clearly he does have it because he just switched the options there. So he's going to start off by getting the 1 free draw. Draws a super combo, which will help him pretty decently against this 1-drop Trunks. So he plays the 1-star ball, drawing a card, and let's see what he decides to pitch here. He's gonna go ahead and pitch the red Gohan, and he's counting his Dragon Balls, and he's 1 short, so he's at 6, and he should know this. He taps 1. He plays the Crisis Crusher Son Goku, a really good card against 1-drops. Unfortunately, Pan can just attack the leader. He combos M2, targeting the Crisis Crusher Son Goku, moving him from the field. So Crisis Crusher really just there to just get rid of the Goku, knowing it's just going to be answered immediately after. So here's your pal Yamcha, and he's boosted up by 5k, making him a 20k beater. And then he gets to get the top, looks at the top 3 added Earthling, but Sam whiffs there. Very unfortunate. Um, but he at least got to draw the card thanks to Pan's auto. So, but he could have definitely plussed more for this turn. So I believe Steven did take the damage here, or oh, okay, so Sam went way too fast for Steven. Steven was still contemplating if he wanted to combo or not. So he does indeed out-combo the Your Pal. And now Sam's gonna go ahead and attack the leader for 10k. And this is quite a situation here. I feel like Steven should take this damage here to see if he can get some cards and get going. But he does have the other Crisis Crusher, and all of this is good for comboing now and popping 1-drops. But since Sam doesn't have a 1-drop on the board, it's just better off to combo it out. Let's see what Steven charges for this turn. I feel like he's going to end up charging that Beerus. And yeah, he's definitely going to charge the Beerus there, for sure. Seeing his cards, I believe he had 2 more Senzu Beans in his hand, a Child's Wish and a World Peace. And those cards aren't going to immediately net him anything, but they will help considering he does have the Super 17 4-drop in the grave already. He does have the Gohan. He has good tools in the Yajirobe, so he has tools to bring cards out at the moment. And now that he's at his 7th Dragon Ball, you can go ahead and Child's Wish out the Gohan. Use the leader's effect, add back the Wish card, and I believe he'll still be a 4 card. So then he can attack over the Yamcha and draw 2 cards, and just maybe combo out 1 card out of his hand, since Sam here only has 2 cards in his hand, unfortunately. So it'll be pretty easy to kill it out unless Sam wants to spend 2 cards to out combo it. I just don't see a world in where he would. So yeah, he goes out ahead and brings out the Gohan. And this is definitely the correct play here. So yep, he goes right ahead and he flips the Shenron over, adding the Child's Wish. He's either has 4 or 5 cards in his hand right now. I can't really tell. It looks like 4 to me though. So he uses the Shenron ability to play the free Child's Wish to drop his hand size down to 4, bringing out the Yajirobe to attack with the Burst Attack Gohan onto the Your Pal Yamcha in order to draw 2. And he's gonna go ahead and he's thinking of what to combo, but he combos out the Gotenks. And like I said, with Sam only 2 cards in hand, I don't see him comboing 2 cards just to save that card. So Sam here is at 3 energy. I'm not sure if he'll charge or not for the turn, but he goes right in and he does anyways. And you know, Steven's board, as much as there's not much on it, that Yajirobe putting a lot of pressure onto Sam here, because any monster he does play, he'll immediately lose, and that's just quite unfortunate, because it won't gain him the advantage, especially if he has another Yamcha in hand. We do know he drew a chain attack Trunks for turn. So he has two cards in hand, and one of them is Chain Attack Trunks, and the other is a Mystery card. So Sam really thinking out what his options are here, and he's in a bad spot. He's not awakened, so he can't attack and draw a card. So his resources are being really whittled down by this hand control Shenron. He's gonna go right ahead and attack the Gohan there instead of playing cards. And Steven debating there if he wants to use the Wajirobe, but he goes right ahead knowing he doesn't have much combo cards in his hand. And that right there, I feel like if the attack went through, Sam would have used the M2 there, but oh, look at that. He plays a Chain Attack Trunks and doesn't use the auto. It's just quite unfortunate when he has to do it to get rid of the Burst Attack Gohan, Son Gohan there. Just because it'll always net Steven advantage, considering his hand signs is still really low there. Alright, so Steven coming up on 4 energy, and that's such a big power play for Shenron, because 4 energy is really when the game gets going. He can start using his world pieces and really just hitting Sam's hand with that 4-drop 17. So for those of you who don't know, that 4-drop 17, when it's played, you discard 2 cards and your opponent discards 2 cards. It has double strike and it can't be countered. And yeah, so it's just a really strong option as of right now because Sam's just struggling to get cards out. Okay, so here we have Steven playing the World of Peace for free out of his with his Shenron ability, bringing out that Super 17 like I said. Now, I feel like he would just attack the chain attack here since Sam has no cards to combo with. He just dies, so Steven doesn't even need to do much there. So he's gonna here play, and he plays the Dragon Radar, grabbing back those Desire cards. And Steven's he's gonna play Child's Wish, and he grabs a Burst Attack Son Gohan there, and just to replenish his hand size, and that's such a good lineup play there. Very clean, and since Burst Attack Gohan is crit, uh, just Sam doesn't get any advantage from being attacked. So he attacks with Pan, targeting Son Gohan, combos the M2, dropping him down to 10. Steve just uses a super combo to save him, and Sam is just really in a bad spot here. Alright, let's see what Hong chooses to charge here. I did see another objection in his hand, I believe. So whether he uses it to tap 2, but here he's at the energy he needs. I don't feel like, I'm pretty sure he doesn't play anything bigger than 4 drops. So objections are really just there for the early game to start getting out your 3 and 4 drops. So now that he's there, the dead objection in his hand should just be charged, if anything. I don't see a reason on why he would play it. If he does have one, it's hard for me to tell here. But you know what? No, he doesn't have an objection, but he is just gonna choose not to charge for turn. Oh, actually, no, he does charge for turn. He charges the Shenron, and he's gonna go right ahead and tap 2. And he's gonna go right and, yep, play Child's Wish to get back the Gotenks there. Burst attack, Gohan attacks, and he just refuels his hand, and oh, there he is. There's the other objection. So I think he has 2 objections in his hand actually, and that's not really gonna do much for him. But good thing for Steve, Sam's hand is pretty non-existent at the moment. So I think I saw another Super 17 in Steve's hand, and he still has the World Peace he added earlier in the turn. So he could attack. Oh no, he just chooses to pass. So what Steven could have done there is he could have chose to attack with the Super 17, having that double strike hit, and then he can world peace it out with Shenron, leader effect, make him drop another 2 cards. But at the same time, I believe Steven's line of play was let me not awaken him. He doesn't get to untap 2. He won't get to get another card when he attacks. You know, just really just smothering at all these resources for him. Because again, he's just at 2 cards, and look at this. Sam is forced to play the double shot Vegeta just to even draw a card here to see if he can draw into anything that could really help out his situation here. And he does draw the Yerpal Yamcha. So let's see if this gets him any cards here. And yup, he grabs the chain attack Trunks out of that whole exchange there. And that's not going to be too useful now. I feel like if he can survive the next turn, he might be able to play the chain Zeno that he has in his hand. But at this rate, I really feel as though Steven can just win off of this exchange right here. And Steven does combo out the other Super 17 from when the Yamcha attack with Shenron. So he charges the objection there. That's a pretty easy charge considering he has... Those are all dead cards as of right now. So Steven still does have a world piece in his hand. I think I just saw the SCR Demigra in his hand too. So yeah, this is not looking too good for Steven here. So yes, he's gonna attack with the Super 17, and that can't be negated, but it's not like Sam has negates anyways. So Sam's gonna take the damage, putting him down to 3, and now Steven can just play the SCR Demigra and really put him in a bad spot. So there's a few things he can do here, and it's kind of weird, but with no negates, none of that, he can just literally tap all that, drop the Demigra, and go for game. But he doesn't know if... Okay, so... Yeah, so what Steven's doing here is he's playing that to bring out the the world piece to bring out the all costs Vegeta, and he's gonna draw a card. And he didn't get to utilize the untap one, but now he's gonna tap all 5, and he's bringing out the SCR Demigra, and this is definitely looking like game here. With no negates in his hand, Sam concedes, and Steven hogs the winner.